Hello, welcome adventurers to the Fighting Fantasy playlist. My name is Adam, and in this episode, we're talking all about the Trial of Champions. The Trial of Champions was released in 1986. It's book 21 in the series, and it was written by Ian Livingstone. Ian Livingstone's return, after a few months' rest, really brought a refreshing change and brought a classic from the past to back. The internal illustrations and the cover art were both done by Brian Williams. Okay, I love this. It's a very gladiatorial sort of look. I love this guy here and the sort of bodies lying around, and it's like, what is this? Trial of Champions. Obviously, you're going to play a gladiator of some sorts. Well, let's have a read because this has a connection to a previous Fighting Fantasy book. When your small boat was rammed and crushed by an ominous-looking galley, you had no choice but to climb aboard. Faced with a crew of hardened cutthroats and their evil, scarred captain, it would have been useless to struggle. Since that cursed day, you had been chained to a bench, just another galley slave, rowing to the point of collapse towards an unknown destination. Then at last, you reach land and are dragged from the ship out into the glaring sunlight. You have landed on Blood Island and are now the unwilling slave of Lord Karnus, evil brother of Baron Sukhumvit, creator of Death Trap Dungeon. The warped and twisted mind of Baron Sukhumvit has completely redesigned the deadly labyrinth of Fang. New traps and terrors, mazes and monsters await you at every turn. But even before you enter the dungeon, you must endure your evil new master's bloodthirsty gladiatorial games. Can you survive this Trial of Champions and free yourself from slavery and rise above it? I tell you, Trial of Champions reminds me a lot of Gladiator, the film from 2000, Ridley Scott's. You start off, you're on a boat. I mean, I know Gladiator doesn't start off like that, but you start off a free person, you get captured, you become a slave, you enter the gladiatorial arena, you fight the guys, and then just like the sequel to Gladiator could be, you enter the Death Trap Dungeon. It's kind of like two books in one in that respect, because Death Trap Dungeon, which came before it, which I believe was number 5 in the series, just was set in the dungeon alone, and that was it. This one, you fight first in the gladiatorial. Half the book is like in the gladiatorial arena, and then you go into the Death Trap Dungeon, and it is slightly different. I tell you, it's a real interesting book. Ian Livingstone, he's written the most for the series. And his books are really good. They're really interesting stories. They're really interesting characters. They're really add depth to Titan. They really do. He comes up with some fantastic sort of historically set pieces, and historically set in the world. It just add layers to it. It really does. I really enjoy Ian's books. I think, if I had to, well, no, I don't want to compare Steve and Ian, but, they both write in very different ways, and they are both brilliant writers. They both add great detail to the whole world and fantastic value to the series. I recommend this book for anybody who is like new to the series. Choose this one first because it has a little bit of everything. It's got the dungeon, and it's got something you'll recognize, which is the gladiatorial games and your will to want to survive. It is real fun. I enjoyed it. Go check it out. That's it for this episode. And in the next episode, we are checking out some robots. Take care, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.